Words of battle and tension from both these players. Nonchalant shrugs of total animosity and hatred about to boil down in this upcoming Protoss vs. Terran match. I'm Day 9.
And I'm Kyle Laris. And these players here advancing through the group stage are formidable in both rights here. SKMC, arguably, potentially one of the best players in the world, the best player in the world. He's
arguably the best Protoss, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair estimation. And then Empire Cass, one of the powerhouses of Terran. I was Terran and European. There we go, we're going to go with that, Terran.
Oh, I see how that caster mishap happened. The words merged together into something new.
Yeah.
I mean, Cass, I think, is the first player, certainly the first Grandmaster to get 10,000 wins.
Yeah, that's a lot of wins.
10,000 wins. Okay, to put that in perspective, StarCraft 2 has been out for a little over 700 days. 10,000 divided by 700. Cass plays a lot of StarCraft 2.
And then that doesn't even count in the losses that actually come from that as well. So God knows how many games he's actually played.
He's going to be going up against Minchul MC. The winningest player in the history of StarCraft 2, has just beastly play in all matchups, and I honestly think is one of the few Protosses who does a wide range of stuff against Terrans.
Yeah, statistically, on an international level, this is MC's worst matchup in inverted commas, but it really is like 64% win ratio as opposed to the 70% and 69% that he has in the other respective matchups. Now, he's already gone up against Cass before in tournament play. Most notably, he went up against him at Copenhagen Games 2011 finals, where he was able to defeat him 3-0, and incidentally, he actually played against Cass in the group stage of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2011, where he was able to beat him 2-0 as well.
I mean, the fact is, Cass is one of these practice machines. He never stops playing. He is the most dedicated player, period. He has no fear pretty much going up against anyone. Yeah. But the one thing I'm concerned about with Cass is that with MC can say something like, you know, I want to figure out a build that crushes early expanders. Hey, OGS practice partner, when he was in OGS. Hey, SK practice partner, can you play an early expand game 20 times in a row so I can work out this timing? Yeah. That is the way that MC plays. Not nearly, actually, not really very much laddering at all. Cass, on the other hand, doesn't get the ability to focus in and do those sorts of strategies. Yeah. So I honestly think that MC is the clear favorite going up against Cass. Cass is going to have this very generically strong Terran. MC is going to have these really specific surgical attacks.
Yeah, and for the most part, Cass's builds are tailored for that ladder mentality. The ultra stable kind of, you know, I'm going to ward myself against literally everything here. And actually, for all intents and purposes, SKMC is somebody who can actually bring out almost anything. Now, obviously, SKMC has a wealth of practice partners in the form of the highest level Terrans in the world, no doubt. I mean, I think that's safe to assume that you wouldn't get that good at that specific matchup if you weren't practicing with the best of the best of the best in the world right now.
And now we get to do no more wondering. We literally get to watch these two duke it out right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start round of 16, match number 2 between SKMC and Empire Cass.
And spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner here of Daybreak. He is the boss toss. You know him all full and well. Spawning as our red Protoss. Give it up for SKMC.
And up in the top right, the biggest beast of practicing you will ever meet. Amazingly able to take down Nesty 2-0 to be here right now. It is Empire's Cass.
Now Daybreak, I love Daybreak to be able to open up these best of 5 series. For me, Daybreak is the just the ultimate map right now in terms of how the metagame works in a lot of these matchups. SKMC, yes, can bring out any given build on any given day at any given time. So Empire Cass here is going to have to be really, really viable here. With his scouting, he's going to have to be so methodical with it in order to be able to really, really figure out what SKMC is going to be doing, because he can hide things here, there, and everywhere. He's able to even play the mind games with his opponents as well. But for the most part, that super strong, really meticulous, stable play for MC is really what defines him.
Yeah, and the one thing that I like quite a bit about the way that MC plays is he was one of the first people in this matchup to do the idle gateway defense. He would build 6 gateways fairly quickly and not produce out of any of them. And that way, he could expand more quickly, and if his opponent dropped him or did a little harassment maneuver, he could warp in 6 full units at that location. It's very easy to go into that Terran-style macro trap and just say, yeah, I should be constantly building out of these gateways all the time, and then you just don't really have that many gateways. You have to have this excellent army positioning. You're forced into passivity, but MC's discovered that these idle gateways allow him to be aggressive and expand more. Yeah,
and that's actually a perfect read on MC completely, because going into the series in Series 6 of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne, where we had SKMC going up against Cass, MC was able to tear Cass apart with just gateway play. He didn't even need to go for that Robo Bay, to the point where, you know, it was really, really hard for Cass because of the force field placement of MC. Now, Cass, since then, has had a lot of time to prepare, a lot of time to become just a better player, a better round player in general. So no doubt we're going to have to see, you know, a little bit more potentially from MC here, as Cass will be able to stabilize quite nicely. But look at this. Oh, my God.
This is a really nice play from Cass. And what a badass.
What a fantastic little move there. MC not being as methodical himself with the scouting around his base, and as such, that expansion will be delayed. But that is assuming that MC had an expansion play to begin with. But look at this, Day 9. We have 3 more gateways. Going to be going down for MC. So
the 4-gate answer from MC. And actually, he's going to be able to expand behind this as well. He has 25 probes. He's just now started chrono boosting, so he will be throwing down the expansion. More often than not. Wouldn't be surprised if he delayed it just a smidge, but I think he can still get away with this.
Yeah. He brought the probe in, though, to be able to make it look like he was going to throw down the expansion. He wanted to show him that the probe is there and ready to be able to throw down the Nexus and try and kind of bait out some different response from Cass. And look at this. He's going for a 3rd command center really quickly. He's adding on those 2 barracks, but they're going to be very late here against this very early aggression from MC.
Oh, man, this is going to be a super close call. MC taking a little bit of damage, but what he really wants is the 5-stalker warping. There's the expand behind anyways. He's going to do the 5-stalker warping. Actually might go sentry, zealot. Wouldn't surprise me.
I love what Cass is doing here, though, because, you know, if you're going for a 3rd command center, an extra bunker, it might not be necessary at that very point in time, but I mean, just taking that insurance against what your opponent can throw at you is so important here. And MC, actually, is he just going to delay this push and just get a few good rounds of what on the... Oh, my God.
This is one of the nice common follow-ups to a 4-gate opening. You can just identify what your opponent's up to and then just go, no, never mind. I'm not actually going to push and kill you. The most common way to do this is you warp in 4 stalker, so you have 5 total. You push with the zealot, and then you just target fire down, pick off 4 to 5 SCVs, and then double expand behind it. Very common play. Most common on Entombed Valley, but MC either way is setting himself up for a nice macro mode, as is Empire Cass, but Cass doesn't really have as much late game infrastructure as he'd like right now. He wants an engineering bay. He wants to get the factories up. He wants 6 barracks quite quickly.
Oh no, Cass overstepping the mark here. He's going to lose this SCV. He sees the natural, but most importantly, he never checked the 3rd location to begin with that scouting pattern there. So he's going to be completely in the dark about this very, very quick 3-base play, and he's still just kind of very content about macroing up with these Marines, with these Marauders, getting that double engineering bay down. He sees these 2 stalkers at the front and knows that he has to be a little bit careful at the early stages of this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a great point you bring up, Kalaris, that that SCV popped in here and saw this expansion, but the most common indicator of what a player is going to be doing is whether he's taking an early third. Every scout where you're saying, let me check what he's up to at the natural, has to begin with, let me check what he's up to at the third. Okay, nothing? All right, sweet, now I'll go to the natural. It doesn't cost you anything, and you get so much more information. Koss is doing a little waltz out, a little risky because he just doesn't know about this third base yet, but I'm excited to see how Koss is going to be taking his third. He might even expand to this one first.
It's like you were slowly getting to the point now where in the other matchups you have to get into that against Zerg mentality of, hey, well, maybe there is that quick third down. Maybe I should actually scout around the corner. It just takes a little bit more time to be able to pull off, but it's so worth doing just in case someone like the powerhouse that is MC actually goes for that very, very quick third.
Here's the expand going down to the bottom side. SCV lead for Koss. Probe still in production. MC conserving a surprisingly high amount of chrono boost. Actually a ridiculously, stupidly high amount. There's Blink coming up, but there's only 4 gateways. He really wants at least 6 if he wants to put on pressure with that.
And we don't actually have any forges yet down, do we? So he's not actually going to be able to get any upgrades out just yet. Empire Cast going to get leaps and bounds forwards here with that 1-1 going down. There we go. There's the double forge on the way for MC. And once he gets those gas geysers up at his third as well, he is going to be flying in terms of that tech. There's the 5th going down, and there's the 6th on the way.
Wow, there is a lot of upgrades incoming for MC. He waited a long time before he wanted to spend all that chrono boost.
Look at the production tab for Cass.
Jeez, this is actually getting a little bit annoying for commentary. It's actually covering the whole screen. Ghost Academy now coming down. Armory 2-2 will be started very soon. No medevacs quite yet, and now the MC spots that push is going to be coming up. He's going to have to respond real quick to stay in.
Yeah, that's a lot of bio there for Empire Cass, as we do have that Twilight Templar Archives on the way here for MC as well. Again, MC Cass dropped to the scan on that Robo facility, saw that, and from there, you know, MC's mixing it up a little bit. He could have quite easily gone into the Robo Bay, but he's just saying, no, I'll stick with that High Templar tech and the gateway forces of MC. I mean, he controls High Templars very, very well anyway, but Cass gearing it up with that Ghost and the Mobius reactor.
Koss now still adding on more barracks. Needs to get 2 more to really be into that big, aggressive, threatening mode where he can continue to drill Empire Koss with the scouting factory. MC being very cautious, spreading these pylons all around that backside so he can get that money warp in if he needs. Forges are in kind of a vulnerable location, especially with just a single pylon there defending it. We see Koss does shove, MC retreats. No Storm coming up yet, just now starting the Storm. That may have been a little bit of a mistake by MC. I think he thought he got Storm.
MC is going to actually be using this factory as an offensive scout here. What I love to see on this map from Terrence is using the factory against someone who's going very zealot heavy to actually wall locations off at the third and then push in and try and snipe out the Nexus. I adore that kind of play. It's something that we saw from Marine King Prime very, very early on going into GSL games. And on, say, maps like Tal'Darim Ultra, for example, and it works so well against Protoss that really sometimes overcommit to just full exclusive zealots.
With this swell of gateways coming up, the next tool that MC needs to actually mount an offensive is a Warp Prism. He's going to be holding back, he's going to be defending for just a little bit of time. Koss is swinging on in. Koss is going to be unprepared for the Storm.
Oh, he's going to be actually able to push in. Cannon's going to soak up a little bit of damage for now. Cass pulls back. He only has 2 medevacs here. Stims a little army forwards here to be able to see exactly what's going on. Guardian Shield going up those force fields. Could tear a new hide, and for now, Storm does go down, not clipping a little bit of that, but will be able to rip apart the rest of that Bioforce on that side of the force fields. And nice defensive force fields, preventing those units from continuing that assault.
God, those Storms did great damage, but Empire Koss just has too many units. But now with these Archons in the fray, Koss is going to have to run out real quick. He is going to be losing the medevacs as well. He has to just pull back and retreat. Another huge force incoming for Koss. This is going to be scary time for MC.
Oh, he's actually going to split up this bio very, very nicely here. Really nice little positioning from Cass there, as those medevacs able to increase that longevity of the bio tenfold. And right now, MC just on the back foot a little bit. He warped in a lot more zealots behind that, though, so they're going to be able to tank for him for now.
More chrono boosting on them forges. Meanwhile, a lot of barracks out for Koss right now. How many barracks does he have? 11. That is the money number. You want to be getting around 10 barracks to be able to fully bring the noise to your opponent. With that 3-3 about to start as well for Empire Koss, he's going to be getting into a world of win by just shoving at his opponent, continuing to barrel down, and MC's going to, well, I was about to say going to be unable to get the fourth, but MC's just building it. This is this is one of these moves where you're expecting to cancel it, but in the off chance that your opponent gets a little passive, then you punish him hard for it.
Oh my god, Ghosts. At this point in time, at the 16-minute mark, he has 9 Ghosts out on the field. Actually, 12 Ghosts out. What? That is so many EMPs. Cass, how has he got maxed so quickly against SKMC right now? He does have that Robo Bay and second Robo on the way, but these Stalkers spot this army pushing forwards, and that's very scary.
Oh, and there he needs to get. There's one EMP that lands really nicely. Feedback picks off a single Ghost. There's the nice spread.
Vikings being added on here to be able to deal with this. Meanwhile, we have 1 or 2 Zealots down at the bottom, denying that 5th base from going down. But once again, Empire Koss just has so much firepower here. Oh, wow.
Hitting it just the right time before the Colossus spring into action. Keep in mind, a single storm can turn the tide of a battle. There's 2 decent storms, not huge ones, though. Needs to get those reinforcing Colossus there quickly. MC's in so much trouble. There's the target fire down to half health, quarter health. See you later, Nexus. And Koss doing a real shocking result here. It looks like he's going to be able to rip down the boss toss in game 1.
Yeah, he's really far down in supply right now. 50 supply ahead. Empire Koss with just phenomenal macro going into game number 1 as he shuts down that 3rd completely. Chances are he'll be able to bring down this Nexus at the 4th, and from there on, MC is stuck to 2 base against a very, very healthy economy here for Empire Koss.
Gosh, 2 base versus 5 base. I mean, Koss just playing it off perfectly. With the amount of storms that MC's had, he just weren't enough. I mean, he had 4 or 5, but you really need like 14 High Templar on the field. You need to let every Ghost expend all their energy and still have 3 or 4 storms left over, because it only takes 2 to turn that tide of battle. MC's not giving up, though. He has managed to accumulate 2 Colossus. We'll be having 4 shortly, but MC, I think, Koss knows what to do in this late game situation, throwing down a bunch of command centers. Yeah, just now starting 3-3.
And I think that, you know, Empire Koss here realizes that, considering the amount of damage he's actually done here, one of the only ways he could really lose this is by if, say, an abundance of Colossus came out. So he added on a second starport, got that reactor down to be able to fuel that off the amazing economy he has from here. And obviously, yes, Storms could also bring him back into this as well. But Koss, you don't build anything extra from here to be able to deal with that. You just split your units and, you know, hope your control is good. Oh, wait a minute.
There's the stim run up. We see some large EMPs going down. The Colossus completely vulnerable.
GG.
Good game.
Empire Koss. In tournament play, that is the first game Koss has ever taken off SKMC.
And look at the smile on Koss's face. I think that's exactly the momentum boost that you need for your confidence. You just managed to handily defeat without any BS, no luck, no, I mean, it wasn't like a drop killed off an upgrade at 80%. I mean, Koss just straight up killed MC, and that makes Koss go, oh my god, I can actually take this series.
Yeah, it is. So we shall hand it over to Mr. Artosis and Tasteless over on our analytical desk. How do you think about that game, guys?
Hey guys, Tasteless and Artosis here. And this game was kind of interesting in the beginning little piece because we had that offensive eBay from Koss. Let's throw that up on the screen.
It kind of a start of a build-over loss here. You know, he throws the eBay down here at the expansion. The Zealot was just slightly out of vision, so it managed to get so deep that, you know, right from the start, MC's in a lot of trouble here. He was planning to make an Nexus there.
Yeah, he wanted to go for the fast expansion, but instead added the gates. Now, Koss he was so greedy. He made the bunker, sure, but then he immediately starts another command center. So at this point, we're looking at the game in like, well, 3 command centers and 1 racks against someone 4-gating. That is, I mean, if you're 4-gating, you want them to be making double command center like this. But MC then, you know, he's already brought the probe back a little bit. He's got a probe up here. He has a pylon, but then when he walks in, sees the bunker, sees another building, and decides, oh, you know what? I can't do this, because he doesn't know about the extra command center. Let's say that Cass just went straight up to 3 Raxes. He might just have enough to hold this, and MC loses that game for free. So MC backing up and making double Nexus in response. It was like it was cool to see him make such a hard decision to say, oh, I made the 4 gates, but now I have to try macro because I don't think the 4 gates are going to work. But the thing is, the 4 gates probably would have worked, Tasteless.
If MC was a worse player, he may have just impulsively rushed in there and actually just ended the game. But I think it's one of those funny situations where, because he's so smart and so calculated, he actually backs out in this situation. And then that kind of resulted in this game where MC's behind for well, the rest of the game, basically.
Well, when this happens, you know, your Nexus are so late. Cass gets the really quick 3 orbital. He's a macro beast, man. It's going to be just too hard to beat him. So, yeah.
Basically sums it up. That was why MC was behind, you know, from the get-go there. Interesting game, though.
Yeah.
We're going to throw it back to you guys. Boys, take it away.
Thank you very much, Tasteless and Artosis.